Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. I was just listening to some music, I was really enjoying it. I wish I could play music in the background for these streams because the only reason I can't is because then my videos would get taken offline or I'd have copyright problems. So, nonetheless, thanks for tuning in. I'm looking like I got a bit of a bad connection there. Write me in the chat, let me know what's going on if anything's decent here. It looks like I don't have any viewers right now, but it says I have some waiting. Might be a dodgy setup today. Anyway, for anyone tuning in, yeah, thanks for watching. And today, as you all know, I work for Start9 Labs. We make a great product called Embassy OS. It looks like this. Here we go. I'm just about able to hold it up to the camera. Not quite. There we go. No. There we go. That's what it looks like. My Ethernet cable is very short, so I'm not able to pull it up all the way. We're just about to do a huge... Thanks, Sean B. I'm glad it's good. We're just about to do a huge new release, 030. This is a brand new everything. The whole entire thing has been rewritten in Rust. It runs about 10 times more efficiently. It's absolutely beautiful. I've been excited about it for a long time. We were initially supposed to release it on July the 4th. Sound, someone says we don't have any sound. You can't hear me? Oh, I might be a bit distorted here. Let me turn down. I see I'm flashing red. I'm just going to turn down a little bit there. That should be better. Let me know if that's better, Nathan. So yeah, we were supposed to release on July the 4th originally. I didn't even work for Start9 at the time, but I was so excited about it. Hey, Start9 are watching. I wonder who that is. Probably Matt. We're just going to take a quick look though. We stopped giving time estimates a little while ago because it's just so hard to estimate when you're going to release. And we're right around the corner now. It's usable. We just got a couple of things. We want to squash a couple more bugs, but with feature complete, which means everything we want in there is now in there. And we only reached that state last week. So we're basically there now. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be able to get this thing out for a Christmas release. So let's take a look. I've just got this little, I've got the console open just because it's been drilled into me that I've got to have that open whenever I'm doing this. So here's a quick look at the Embassy tab for a start off. We can monitor stuff. This is similar to what you had before, but obviously, if you're familiar with the O2 interface, you'll see that we now have a huge amount more disk space. I have a 2 terabyte drive plugged into mine right here. So this is obviously huge. This is what gives us the opportunity to have full archival nodes finally, which unlocks a few things for us. Mainly it's going to make things like Sparrow Wallet a lot easier to use because while that is just about usable on O2X right now, it's hard to do without a full node. And more importantly, we're going to be able to have your own self-hosted instance of mempool.space. So everyone knows this block explorer. Oops, I'm not even sharing a screen, am I? Let me switch over here. So here's my screen. Sorry guys, I just realized I wasn't sharing there. So this is mempool.space. This has been everyone's favorite block explorer for like the last year or something, but it's not self-hosted, which means there are privacy implications if you're going to punch in addresses to check whether you've received bitcoins or not. So in the Embassy interface now, in Embassy we're going to have our own instance of mempool.space. It's not packaged up yet, but we're going to have it very, very soon. I'm super excited about that, and I think that's an underrated feature that's going to be huge. It's an essential part of the Bitcoin stack in my opinion. So here we have obviously Bitcoin Core, we have Bitcoin Proxy. We're still going to use that, which it's good for a bunch of reasons, and I initially didn't understand what was so good about Bitcoin Proxy, but I love it now. We can have C Lightning, we can have LND, everything can use Bitcoin and nothing gets in everything else's way, which is really nice. Bitcoin Wallet Tracker is a new thing we're adding. That works a bit like an Electrum personal server. I don't understand the differences exactly, but that's one of the things that allows us to have Sparrow now, I believe. And that's great because up until now we've only officially supported fully noded and and Spectre. So it gives us a third option, Sparrow, and Sparrow is the wallet du jour at the moment. Everyone's very excited about that. So you'll notice we have these, for anyone familiar with O2X, we have these. We have everything, rather than just one big thing where all the services are found, we have separate categories now. So featured, this is a little prank we've got going. Please, if you're running a beta version right now, please don't update to 0.3.1. That's just something there to troll everyone. It doesn't actually do anything. Oh no, don't tell me I've hit a bug. I'm just gonna go back here. Hopefully this should work. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, don't click on 0.3.1. That's we'll get that will actually mean something when we finally release this publicly. So I've got Synapse up and running. That's my favorite self-hosted way to replacement for chat platforms like Signal and Telegram. That's really fun. That's what we use internally in Start9 to do all our communication, right down here. Embassy Pages is a way to self-host a website, a Tor website, which is amazing. That's one of my favorite features. I did a presentation and I used that as a demonstration of the Embassy. I did that demonstration in Dubai about a month ago at Tone Vays' conference, Understanding Bitcoin. You can go to Understanding BTC on YouTube and check out that presentation if you want. This will just be a list of services that aren't up to date yet. And yeah, this is the Bitcoin stack. So we've got pretty much everything. I can't wait till we get Electrum Personal Server. As I said, Bitcoin Wallet Tracker kind of makes a lot of that redundant, but we are still going to have it. Mempool.space is obviously my favorite and obviously missing part of this whole window here. But that's all good. We have the whole Lightning thing here. Lightning is, that we have some of these services are in multiple categories here, like Lightning services are also found in the Bitcoin tab. Data, we've got Bitwarden has now become Vault Warden, and that's obviously an awesome self-hosted solution for password management. That's amazing. Really excited that we've got that working as well as we have. File Browser and Embassy are what link together, so if you are hosting a Tor website, like in my presentation, and Embassy Pages automatically links to your cloud storage that you have. And if you put anything in there, HTML, you can just point Embassy Pages to File Browser and then you automatically get a web page from it. The way these two are integrated is magical. Burn after reading is a replacement for something like Pastebin or dpaste. Is the most secure example of that you can possibly get. If you write a message and you send someone the link to it, it will only be viewable once. Obviously they can screenshot it, but assuming that they don't, if anyone else ever gets that link, they won't be able to open the message again. It will be gone and they'll be hit with a message that says, there's nothing here, perhaps there never was. Next we've got Photo View. Photo View is just a sort of media player where anything you have, videos, photos in File Browser, you can actually, you have a nice interface to look at them. Next, we'll go to the messaging category. We've got Cups Messenger still. A lot of people have now migrated to Synapse or Matrix because it's just so much more feature rich, and it's kind of made it a little redundant, but Cups in its simplicity is still beautiful. Sphinx, obviously, that's shows up in the Bitcoin Lightning tabs as well, because it is those things. Sphinx is cool. I haven't used it for probably 8 or 9 months now. It was really buggy when I last used it. People got excited about that application before it was really ready, in my opinion. And that's what we've tried really hard not to do with Embassy 0.3.0. We're trying to release it and absolutely hit the ground running with it, which is why, even though we've only got a couple of bugs left to squash, anyone would consider this pretty much ready for release. But it's, we want it to be perfect when it comes out. Obviously, we've got Mastodon as well. Self-hosted Mastodon's great. I'm still crying about the fact that if you have an account on Mastodon using a Tor instance, you're not going to be able to federate with the Bitcoin hackers Mastodon instance that NVK runs. That's a shame. Hopefully one day he listens to me and He hears my cries, and he finally allows those two things to interact. Because it's like, what do we say? It's like, I don't know. It's like ketchup and fries or something. The two things have to go together. In the social tab, all we have is Mastodon for now. I don't know of any other self-hostable social network kind of platforms that exist. If anyone does, please hit me in the chat. I haven't found anything yet. Mastodon seems to be the only game in town. And to me, that means there's room for improvement in this area. Though I do think Mastodon is awesome. And then you've got the All tab, which just shows everything you can possibly have. And I've, at this point, run every single service and found every single bug I can, and basically everything has been squashed now. So that's why I'm confident saying this is going to be right around the corner. Here you just have a list of the services that are running. At the moment I'm running Bitcoin Core. We're still in the middle of syncing. I'm around, where am I at? I'm rolling forward because I just had to restart my embassy quickly. So I'm just rolling forward. This will probably take another hour, and then I'll be at block 601,000 or something, and then I'll have about a year and a half of block history left to load. So should be done by around this time tomorrow, because this is an 8 gigabyte Pi. So that's Bitcoin Core. You have, as usual, customizable config. So there's no need to SSH into your device. This goes for every service, by the way. There are edge cases where you may need to, but for now, you can do everything you're likely to ever need to do, like set the DB cache or set how many peers you want. I think I need to minimize that. Yeah, you can decide whether you're public, whether you're discoverable. You can add nodes, specific nodes if you'd like. So if you have another Bitcoin node that you particularly trust and you only want to connect to that one, you can add its IP address here. All of this stuff used to need to be done via SSH. Not in 020, we always had these configurable, but Embassy is the only platform in this field of personal servers running, especially things running Bitcoin, where we've made everything configurable in the graphical user interface, and you just never need to SSH in normal circumstances anyway. You can still prune if you'd like. By default, that will be disabled, and you will be running a full archival node. You can set that to automatic if you like, but it will come disabled by default. And you can also go manual if you have a specific size you want to prune to. But like I said, it will come disabled. I think it's best to run a full archival node. And with Bitcoin, that's not a lot of resources. It will use up about 450 gigabytes at most. And you're going to be having either a 1 terabyte drive or a 2 terabyte drive. And so, half of your space will be used up by Bitcoin, or a quarter of your space. So, yeah, let me just take a look at the chat quickly, see if there's any questions. Hey, LEF. Andreas, why are you sitting in such a dark room? Isn't it just unhealthy for both your eyes and happiness? Yeah, it's not great, but I don't have an alternative right now. I do have the bonus that I have my setup. I can't really show you, but it's also soundproof. So my baby's asleep right now. She can't hear anything I'm doing. That's a big relief for me. I hate having to creep around and be really quiet and be worried about waking my kid up. So yeah, it's dismal when it comes to not having any natural daylight or anything. I've tried. I can't put a window in here. It's just not possible. So yeah, it's pretty dark. I used to have the front part of the house available, but we rent that out now, so nothing I can do there. Yeah, feel free to drop any questions in the chat, and I'd love to answer some more stuff there. Let's show you what it's like. Does it flip? Yeah, it does. Let's show you what it's like installing a service. So we've got Bitcoin D running at the moment. An obvious thing we'd want to do would be to install Lightning on top of that. Now, I think there's some confusion about whether we need... Yeah, we do need proxy. So I'm going to install proxy. I'm going to start proxy. That's what I'm going to need to do. I'm putting it through its paces, everyone. I just need to check a message here, actually. Not screen sharing. Yeah, I know. What are we in? So this is what it looks like installing a service. I can show you. It'll show you the download progress, the validation, and then the unpacking. So here we are with LND. It's basically installed already now. We can just switch back. It's installed. So as this is what happens in Embassy. This is what makes everything so plug and play. Everything needs to be configured to interact with other services, especially in the Bitcoin stack. And that's all done in a way where if you don't know anything about it, you can just use default settings and it will work straight away. So I do believe LND is going to require BTC proxy, and it might just be complaining about the fact that that's not running. But it is running because I did start it a second ago. So here you can even have a customizable color. I mean, these are all things, again, that you'd have to SSH in and screw around with your LND, and this is all inside the GUI, and it all works just perfectly reliably. If you want a watchtower or not, that's a configurable thing. So anyway, we're just going to save the default config here, and that should take maybe 10 seconds or something max, and then LND will be all good to go, and it will work perfectly with Bitcoin Core. And we can even look at Bitcoin Core's logs, and we'll probably see some record of what LND is doing. And that will be fun to watch. Take a look at the chat again. He also has a bonus of a family that keeps him happy. Yes, my family does keep me happy. If we throw a USB storage on our current Embassy, could we upgrade sooner than getting the upgrade kit? No. All you're going to be able to do with anything you plug into the USB ports in your current Embassy is just make a backup. That's all you're going to be able to do for now. They're not officially supported yet. The backup process, I mean, you can become a part of the public beta, which is literally, I think we'll have that next week. And I'm confident that you could do it without risking anything, though I'm just about to release a video on doing backups and recoveries in O2X. That's going to be a different process in O30. So before you back up, if you're worried, and if you're just generally being diligent in this self-hosting sphere anyway, you should back up everything anyway in case it doesn't go well, but just generally you should have everything backed up with your Embassy. I got a video coming out on how to do it. It's very simple anyway. That's all you're going to be able to do with a USB storage device for now. But yeah, I think if you want to have a big, if you want to up your storage, you're going to need O30 to do it, basically, and you're going to be able to do it. I really want to say like Friday next week, but don't hold me to anything. We really did have an internal policy of no longer making estimates about actual release dates, but now that we're so close. What's the name of the wallet? Which wallet? Sorry, could you message again, Nico? I'm not sure which wallet you meant. So LND, the config was set. Now it's complaining that Bitcoin proxy isn't running. So config not satisfied. So again, it's found something in Bitcoin proxy's config that doesn't quite work. So the LND service, or the LND, I don't know what to call it. It's not a service exactly, but the LND interface here is going to go into Bitcoin proxy and it's going to make an edit to what Bitcoin proxy's config is automatically for us, and I think it's just going to add a new user to Bitcoin proxy. Yeah, the LND user. It's going to make a password. It's going to automatically just set all this for us so that LND can communicate with Bitcoin D through Bitcoin proxy, all of the configuration settings. It's been made as simple as possible for any user without taking away any of the autonomy and without having to overly rely on Start9 for anything. So default settings will get you exactly where most people are going to want to be, but there's no restriction on what you can do with any of these things. You can still use LND to its fullest. You can still use Bitcoin Core to its fullest. So it just works great in both directions. I'll switch back there. What's the name of the wallet? Yeah, I don't know which wallet you mean exactly. I was talking about Sparrow and Spectre. and fully noded. Those are the 3 wallets that work with Bitcoin Core as it is on the Embassy at the moment. There's currently no mobile wallets that work with it. But strangely, this doesn't come up very often. So just going to check ping. I need to switch back screens again. Oops. So here we are. We're still saving. I should point out, maybe it would have been slightly more impressive if I'd paused Bitcoin Core before I did this stream, because it's slowing down some of what the Embassy is capable of. This is the Embassy at its very slowest, because it's still in the middle of initial block download, which is the first time you run Bitcoin Core for all of us, actually, because we were running pruned nodes before. We have to start from the very beginning of Bitcoin's history and process everything. And depending on how big you make the DB cache, which is a configurable setting in Bitcoin Core, depending on how large you make that, it can take anywhere between 2 and 3 days to 7 or 8 days. So it's generally preferable to make that the DB cache a little bit larger, so that you get through IBD faster. But where am I in the initial block download at the moment? It's probably still, I think it's still rolling forward. So yeah, the Pi is working flat out at the moment. You can even see if we go to monitor it, we're 67 degrees. I have a fan in the case. It would be about 80 degrees if I didn't have that fan. So yeah, it's working really hard at the moment. So anyway, let's go back to LND. LND should now, it says satisfied on the Bitcoin proxy dependency, because it just modified the config of Bitcoin proxy automatically so that it would work beautifully. So we can just start LND and we can check out the logs and see what it's doing. There's nothing there to report yet, I think. It's going to have to sync the whole graph to the whole LND network. So it's doing all this stuff that you'd have to do. It's going to make a new wallet. We'll probably see something in Bitcoin Core. I'm not sure if Bitcoin Core would actually show something like this. Maybe not. No, it's not. And we've hit LND crashed. But so that might be a bug there. That might be something I gotta report here. But nonetheless, I'm not expecting it to work perfectly yet. I probably should have waited for Bitcoin to finish its IBD, its initial block download. Yeah, see, LND is in here now. It's actually communicating with Bitcoin Core, but something is not quite right with it at the moment. So again, these are the little things we don't want people to run into. This is why we don't want to release too fast, but these bugs are all very squashable and very quick, and we can fix them up really quickly if we're doing it before release. But releasing it publicly when it's full of bugs is not something we want to do. So yeah, that's pretty much it. There's a whole bunch more services. I have File Browser running at the moment. I've just made a new video for Start9, and it's hosted in my file browser on this Embassy, and it's working perfectly. People have downloaded the video and watched it, so that's working exactly as it's supposed to be. As I mentioned before, my favorite service on Embassy is Embassy Pages, which allows you to make a Tor hidden website, and it automatically it works seamlessly with Embassy with File Browser, so that you can host on a website any data you put into File Browser, and it just works so seamlessly. It's just incredible. For me, that is about 1,000 times easier than going to Namecheap and buying a domain and then sorting out the A records and all that stuff, and just then buying the domain, then buying hosting from like Wix or someone else, and then getting the two things to work together. For me, every time I do that, it takes me hours. It wastes hours of my time. I find it so much easier doing it here. And we will have ClearNet support for all this stuff over the course of 2022. though I don't want to promise too much about new updates coming along. So there we go. Embassy page is a real simple service, really powerful, and that's installing right there. Lightning, I want to try and start this again because, well, it says it's running. We had the notification that it crashed, but it didn't actually crash. That is one problem we're having with a bunch of services now that's already well on the way to being fixed. So LND is actually running fine. We're just a bit overzealous with the notifications at the moment. Obviously, this is ugly, and we don't want reports of crashes when those crashes haven't happened, but we're just being extra careful at the moment. In reality, LND is actually running just fine. Okay, we have this error as well, but yeah, we got little things to iron out, guys. I'm just gonna check the screen again. What have we got? The chat. What's the name of the wallet? Yeah, nice. I don't know what you were asking about there exactly. Yay, Joyce 030. All I want for Christmas. Hi, Honk Hogan. Nice to see you, man. I've seen you around on Twitter as well. I mean, are you alluding to Clown World at all with your Honk Hogan name? I feel like you should be, or you are. If we go back to Embassy pages, which I just installed, it says need config. This is generally what it's like setting up a service on Embassy, if you didn't already know. There we go. Just to use default config for Embassy pages, click save, and that's it. And all of these things would normally be incredibly zippy. I'm using LAN right now. You see where it says .local. That means I'm connecting over local area network rather than over the Tor network. So things are usually really zippy. This is noticeably about 3 or 4 times faster than Embassy 0.2. It's just running. This is the worst example of how it would run because I'm still rolling forward blocks in Bitcoin D. So here we go, Embassy pages. But nonetheless, it installed and sorted out the config relatively quickly. And that's it. Now it's running. Now it will perform its health check. This is a new feature we have in 030. Every service has a health check, and that's we didn't have that before, and that helps us keep track of what's going on with the services. And we can see a list of all the services we got here. Matrix is obviously my favorite chat thing now, and that's what I use. But you see what we're doing here. We're unable to upgrade to TCP receive 500. It looks like we got some bugs in LND, so I'm glad I came across them, and I'm going to be able to report them. That's very useful. But I'm not going to start filing GitHub issues right now on actually I think this is already an issue. I don't think I even need to report it. Yeah, but I'm not going to start filing those on stream, obviously. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to show a quick little preview. Obviously you can see we're not quite ready yet, but we're very close now. So we're excited, and I can't really contain it anymore, so that's why I had to do this stream. If you have any more questions, let me know in the chat. Otherwise, I'm probably going to end the stream there. Hello, and thanks for the hard work. Thank you, Adam. It's been a lot of very hard work getting 030 ready. I'm not doing most of the work. Most of the hard work is done by the devs. I'm not a dev. Most of the hard work has been done by the team behind the scenes, which is Chris and Aiden and Keegan and Lucy and Drew and Matt. And apologies if I've missed anyone there. I think we've got a few new people. We've got a dev called Blue Jay coming on board, who I don't know. But I work remotely for Start9, so I've only met some of the team. A bunch of them I haven't even met yet. And getting into America for me is even difficult right now. So, would a DPN affect speed and is actually useful? A DPN? I'm going to have to Google that. I don't even know what that stands for. How embarrassing. A DPN? Or do you just mean VPN? But either way, I don't actually know the question. I don't know the answer to that. Dermatosis papulosa nigra. I don't know. Well, I don't want to attempt to pronounce that and get my channel banned. So I don't know what that is. Maybe you mean VPN. VPN, wouldn't make any difference as far as I know. I'm using a VPN right now. It certainly shouldn't matter if you're going through your LAN, and it shouldn't matter if you're using Tor either. No, I don't think a VPN would matter at all. You're excited too. Yeah, it's gonna be great, Adam. This is a game changer. Like, I can't go back to Embassy 0.2 after this, and everything else in the personal server space just doesn't work as solidly and as reliably as what we're making here. So we're very, very proud of this product. Oh, a decentralized VPN. Okay, I've never used one. I don't know the reality of those. Do you mean as a service on the Embassy, or if you were using one, how would it affect your Embassy experience? Because those are both two good questions. We do want that, and well, you know, we have stuff kind of in that area. Like, we've got Pi-hole, that's on the roadmap, which obviously is like you know, self-hosted DNS, which is a bit different. But I don't know. What's an example of something we could package up that's a decentralized VPN? Because I'm sure that would be something everyone would get excited about in the team. In the usage of it, no, it wouldn't make any difference unless it wouldn't make any difference that was unique to Embassy. It would, if Embassy suffered in some way, everything else you'd be using would suffer in the same way, I would say. Maybe even less so for Embassy, because depending on if you can configure the VPN to allow allow stuff over the local area network without, you know, getting in its way, then you should just be able to use it seamlessly while you're on the same LAN. And then and then I don't know, if you're using Tor to connect to your Embassy, that would be no different to using Tor to connect to literally anything else. It's exactly the same. So there's nothing special about Embassy in that regard. If you're using a decentralized VPN that I can think of, it should just work the way everything else works, any other websites or the whole Tor network. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm going to end the stream there. I just wanted to do a quick one and show some of these features because we're really proud of them. And please feel free to hit us up in the... where are we here? I just need to not dox myself here. Yeah, there we go. Here is the Embassy chat. Please feel free to join it. I'm going to drop a link here. If you want to drop in and ask any questions, this is our Telegram chat. Please jump in, ask us anything you want, request stuff. We're always around. We're the best when it comes to support in this whole space, in my opinion, the whole Bitcoin space. We jump on people. If you have an issue with a service, 3 of us will answer with a solution within a couple of minutes, usually, unless it's 3 in the morning, you know, around the middle of the night in America, because most of us are based in the West Coast or Mountain Time. So yeah, jump in there if you've got any questions. That's a good place to ask stuff. It's not just technical support, it can also be suggestions, things like that, even memes, just not spam. And we're not big fans of shitcoins, so leave those out as well. I remember seeing a music video of your music somewhere. I like the song. Where can I find it again? Oh, good question. Was it a slow emotional song, or was it a fast upbeat song? Which one was it? Because I can send you either of those. Though, man, I really... How did you even see that? I'm not even sure how you'd have seen it. I did once post something on Twitter, but I didn't mention that it was me that did it. I'm wondering how you even found that stuff. About to do the DIY Embassy for the first time. I got the parts already. Better to just do the 030 once released instead of spending the time twice. You know what, I'm going to recommend you just wait for 030. How technical are you? Because there is currently a ghost or two in the compile process for 02X at the moment, and I think it's because Tor yanked one of their versions, and so when you try and boot up the first time, it can't find the Tor version it needs. You can get around that, but we just don't have any resources to help people who are compiling from source for 02X at the moment. We don't have time to update the build guides and stuff. well, obviously we want people to be able to do that. We're all advocates of free software and all that, but we do have to prioritize getting 030 out and the people that actually buy the OS as well. So I would say, unless you're technically able to get around that ghost in the compile for 02, just wait, because it will only be, not technical enough. Fair enough, man. I'm not either. I can't get around this one ghost, which means I have to go and pester David. And I forgot to mention David when I was saying we're talking about all the developers working on it. Of course, I forgot one person. It had to be David. Sorry about that, Dave. But like I'm saying, if you hit a roadblock when you're compiling 0.2 at the moment, I'm not going to be able to help you with it, and I'm going to have to go and pester David or Chris or Keegan or something, and I don't want to do that because they're so busy finishing up 030. And it's so close now, I would just go with 030. Slower song, maybe on Twitter. That song is called Inertia, and it's my artist name was Orphan, Orfan. You can find that. It's around on Twitter. If you spell it right, Orfan, and then Inertia, you should be able to find it. It was written years ago, and funnily enough, it's very, very prescient, the lyrics. I didn't have any foresight or anything about what was coming in 2019, 2020, but the lyrics strangely completely fit. Thanks, you'll get it. Nice. I'm glad you got all the parts. Do you have a speaker? It can be a little bit annoying. Yeah, it's with an F though, KQH. It's with spelt with an F rather than a PH. If you search with a PH, I don't think you'll be able to find it. That stuff never did well enough for YouTube's algorithms to ever recommend it, or even help you if you don't spell it right. Does Pi 3 have the horsepower to run Embassy, or does Pi 4 have the RAM onboard required for compiling and running? You should. You're absolutely able to. The only way to compile. The answer to your first question: does Pi 3 have the horsepower to run Embassy? 99% sure the answer is no. I think your experience using it would just be really, really annoying if it even worked at all. It just doesn't have the power, as far as I can tell. Your next question, Pi 4. Do try the Pi 3 if you have one lying around. You can just buy an image if you want to try it out really quickly, or you can compile it if you've got the know-how, and let us know how it goes. And speaking of compiling, as to your second question, we ship the 8GB Pis now rather than the 4GB, but the 4GB is fine. There's not a great deal of difference between the two. And you can certainly compile this on the Raspberry Pi. You could compile O2X on the Raspberry Pi, and you can definitely compile 0.30 on the Raspberry Pi. You just don't need to. You can compile it on I compile mine in Ubuntu when I'm trying. I end up flashing about 4 or 5 images a day, just trying upgrade after upgrade, and I do it in Ubuntu Virtual Machine on my MacBook. You got the song, it's on YouTube, nice one. The first speaker you got was effed up. New one incoming now. Should have in a couple of days. Nice one. The speaker really helps. We're changing all the music as well. That was one part of my inputs to this release. We can't use Mario sounds anymore because we don't want Nintendo to come after us. So we looked for some music that really gets the point across of what's going on, whether you've just crashed or whether you've booted up successfully or whether you've just updated or whether you're about to shut down or any of these things. We've found generic uncopyrightable music that says to these people, I can't wait actually for everyone to hear the new sounds. I'll give away one. The sound when you successfully boot up is do 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 do, and I don't think that belongs to anyone. I think that's public domain at this point. Anyway, guys, I've got to jump off. I've got a call scheduled in about 15 minutes, so I've got to jump on that. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you like the look of the new interface, and I hope you're all as excited as we are. And I'll speak to you all later on. Bye, guys.